Science and philosophy can often seem like they're very closely bound. Where the scientist searches for truth, the philosopher oftentimes is trying to define what truth is. But this connection may not be as close as it first appears. In this video, I'm going to talk about the potential connection between philosophy and science within a traditional model of research. So far in this playlist, I've been presenting a traditional view of science, in which the researcher tries to determine what is occurring in the world. This simple model raises many perplexing philosophical questions. In the last video, I said the research community had asserted a link between cigarette smoking and lung cancer. But what status should we give to this claim? Is this statement true? If we say that, what do we mean by truth? Different philosophers have offered different theories of truth, from saying that truth adds nothing beyond asserting that something is the case, to a true statement actually corresponds to something in the world, or that truth is dependent on its relationship to other statements. In the smoking example, we determined that one event, smoking cigarettes, causes or is associated with a second event, getting lung cancer. But what type of relationship do these two events have? Do they always just occur together? Does one cause the other in some way we cannot see? How should we define and determine causality? Ontology is a branch of philosophy that studies being. What status should we give the world that researchers are studying? Is it really as it appears to us? Or is it always dependent in some way on our conscious perceptions? Social ontology is a relatively recent branch of philosophy that looks at the status of objects and institutions within the social world. When we move to studying the social world, there are questions regarding whether institutions are real, or does their existence depend on the thoughts of the individuals who interact with it. Beyond questions about the status of the world, there's questions how we could possibly know the world. Given that our experience of the world is only through our own consciousness, is there a way that we can ever really know what is the case? The practice of knowing the world engages in many of the classic questions that philosophers have struggled with throughout history. Often these philosophical questions are more related to the general practice of knowing the world than arising from any specific project. Some scientific discoveries are, however, profound enough to raise new philosophical concerns. For example, part of Immanuel Kant's work can be seen as addressing philosophical questions arising from the work of Isaac Newton. Within a traditional model of research, however, researchers can investigate the world without concerning themselves with these philosophical questions. For example, issues around the nature of truth and causality certainly arise within our discussion of the link between cigarette smoking and cancer. But researchers searching for the cause of lung cancer did not give philosophical arguments for their work. As a society, we're happy to act on their conclusions about the danger of cigarette smoke without needing the researchers to settle on the proper philosophical status of their causality claim. Like how you can drive a car without first knowing how to build one, you do not need to have settled philosophical positions to do empirical research. Scientific and philosophical problems are closely interdependent. They are nonetheless, at the same time, independent and can be treated in relative abstraction from each other. While they are independent, researchers and philosophers would likely gain greater understanding if they were both better acquainted with each other's work. It's just that neither has to engage with the other to do their work. There are many math teachers who do not have a definitive philosophical conception of the ontological status of numbers, and there are many philosophers who cannot run experiments. On the traditional model of research and philosophy can be seen as separate and independent areas of activity. I've so far mostly focused on studying the social world and describing some general features of what I've been calling a traditional model of research. This traditional model of research aligns with the ideas of positivism. In the next video, I'll discuss what is positivism. Hope you continue on to the next video.